Good morning, Mandy. Well, I'll tell you, I grew up in this area with the 5 years I spent in the Army. With the exception of that, I've lived and worked here all my life. And there's one thing that I've realized is that the people of this district are not being truly represented in Washington, D.C. right now. I think this is a problem across the country, and it has a lot to do with the way that we elect people, the way that we put people into office. We have a truly corrupt campaign financing system, and that's got to change. So what I wanted to do with this campaign was something a little different. Not only do I think that we're not being represented on the issues in a lot of ways by Representative Mack, but I think that we have to change the way the business is done. Now, of course, every candidate comes up here and says, hey, vote for me, I'm going to change things, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to fight corruption. The question is, how do we, the voters, verify that? So what we're doing with this campaign is I'm trying to use the new media in a way that's never been done before. In addition to putting up a blog and to streaming online, everything that I do and say for the sake of the campaign, including this interview right now, we videotape. And then we take all of that raw footage and we make it available for everybody online. This way we have complete transparency and accountability for anybody who wants to take the time to go up there and look at what we're doing. Well, obviously the big issue that everybody's concerned about right now is the economy. And again, what we see in terms of representation, I think, from both the Democrats and the Republicans is they're up there and they're representing the special interests. They're representing the people that have the most money to pay in the system. And nowhere is this more apparent than with the bailout package that was put up there recently. The concern that I have here with the bailout is clearly something had to be done to help the bank system along. But the bailout package as we have it now is really looking at the short-term effects of it. In the long term, there are a couple of things that we have to do. The first thing is we really have to take a fundamental look at what our economy is based on. We need to look at the monetary system. We need to look at the way the Federal Reserve operates. And then secondly, in the long term, the real problem with the economy is not Wall Street, it's Main Street. It's the folks that live here that have jobs that aren't paying enough money. That seems to be there's fewer and fewer opportunities. So what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we get out there and we guarantee that there are ways that people are going to be able to make a living wage, that they're going to have access to health care, that their pensions are going to be safe, and more than anything, we need to find a way to jumpstart the economy by investing in new technologies. Energy independence isn't just about getting rid of foreign oil. It's also about moving into the 21st century with technology that's going to create jobs and opportunities. Well, the minimum wage is at a historic low, even with the recent increases, and that might be one option to jumpstart things a little bit. When we're talking about a minimum wage increase, of course, we got to be careful with how that's going to affect small businesses. And I think when we're talking about how it affects small businesses, this is one area where I go against the orthodoxy of both parties. But I think one of the biggest problems that we have, one of the biggest drags that we have, not just on small businesses, but on businesses across the country, is the healthcare situation we have. And I think the only way that we're going to resolve that situation is that we need a real, universal, single-payer healthcare plan in this country. How do we pay for that? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, I don't think in the long run we can afford not to pay for it. We're looking at 25, 30 years down the road. If we don't change what we're doing now with Medicare, it's going to eat up every single dollar of the federal budget. So we have to change directions on that. Now, there's a couple of things. Well, this is, the problem with Medicare is we don't have enough people who are working paying enough into the system. If you get everybody into the same pool, then what you do is, number one, You eliminate, obviously, the insurance premiums that they would be paying otherwise. But more importantly, you're taking all that money and you're putting it into a single pool. And so the reason I'm saying that this could save what we're doing with the direction of Medicare is that we would be able to, with everybody on the same pool, to not have the shortcome that we would otherwise, the shortfall that we would otherwise have if it was just all the baby boomers and all the seniors collecting on Medicare, but who aren't paying into the system anymore. With everybody paying in, we would have more money coming in. We would also be able to cut costs significantly. One of the areas that we would be able to cut costs in is administrative costs. The administrative overhead would drop. We would be able to negotiate bulk discounts on drugs and that sort of thing, and we wouldn't have the drag that everybody is paying now in their economy. When somebody shows up at the hospital and they don't have coverage, we're all paying for it regardless, and that creates an increase in our premiums. No, I'm well aware of the cost. You know, one of the things that I do, in addition to owning my own video company, is I also work as a polysomnographer with sleep apnea patients. So every day that I'm at work there, I see what's going in and out with the insurance situation. I see people who are denied coverage. I see people who lose their job and don't have the portability, who get denied because they have pre-existing conditions. And I see the costs, and I see the huge headache it is administratively for the doctors that I work with, for the hospitals. I see the fact that, you know, in an office where we have one doctor, 2 technicians, a nurse, and 3 administrative people. And the reason we have 3 administrative people is because it is a constant battle with the insurance companies to get actual payments for treatment that's already been rendered, because the insurance companies will do anything that they can to deny coverage. And I see this every day. This isn't just speculation. And the problem that we have, one of the biggest cost problems that we have, is the fact that I think we have an unnecessary middleman in the process. We have, I'm all for the free market, and I'm all for private practice doctors and private hospitals, but we have a middleman, the insurance companies and the HMOs, who will, of course, do anything to make a profit, because, of course, they're a for-profit business. And so the only way... Well, the bottom line is, the bottom line here is that if you're sick and tired of the rhetoric that's going back and forth between the Democrats and the Republicans, this area needs a truly independent voice, someone that's going to stand aside from the partisan politics and represent us. And I don't think that there's any other candidate out there that's going to give you the kind of direct access to what's going on in Washington, D.C. Because what we're doing with the cameras and the new media and all of that, I plan on doing that exact same thing in Washington, D.C. Now, where we have disagreements, and we sort of picked the one issue, which I think is probably my most controversial issue to discuss, but where we have disagreements, we can talk about it. And I think if you look at, particularly with the incumbent that we have now, the constant complaint I hear is that he's never around. We need someone who's actually going to be here in this district, live here in this district with you every day, and make sure that you're represented. Thank you very much, Mandy. You too.